beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less. You check as I'm chess, what's happening next? Yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, that's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place. I wanna be first, work till it hurts. Dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft. You can change lives, you create thoughts, never waste time. You got one shot, you got one life. Better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5, no mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me.
What up, Nine?
Trapaholics Mixtapes.
As the 9% and Word would say, make a better you, a better us.
Give them what they ask for.
Who do you think you are? I'm the Word. Boy, I'm the one who put in the work.
When I move, it's in a quick rumble. I won't ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble.
What up, though? It's the Word. You see the title, we about to get into it. But before we do that, hey, let me get into the chat. Atmosphere, my guy. What it do with the businesses, fam? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Hey, man. Appreciate everybody come through today. Hey, we're going over the 42 ideas of my aunt. And in this video, I'm just going over the ideas. Now I'm gonna do an after show. In the after show, we can talk about my aunt in general. We can get into detail, but for this show and for this series, I'm gonna literally just be talking about the ideas. We'll break them down, and I'm gonna tell you how I applied them and how it benefited me in my journey. Right. So, without any further ado, and quick thing too, you can look this up for yourself. You can look up 42 negative confessions. You can look up 42 ideas of mine. You can look up 42 laws of mine. Sometimes they will be in different order. In my opinion, really, especially when you know the origin of it, it don't really matter what order is in it, as long as you practicing it. As long as you practicing it. So you get the benefits out of things, you got to use it, right? If you don't use it, then you ain't gonna get the benefit out of it. So the very first idea of mine is simple, right? So the very first idea is I honor virtue. Now, what do honor and virtue mean? It means to recognize and acknowledge virtue within self and within others. I'm gonna break that sentence down. And my bad, I just seen I got and double A on and I fixed that. But yeah, so honoring virtue is recognizing and acknowledging virtue within yourself and virtue within others. Right? Check this out. This is some sauce right here. It's easy to spot things that you're accustomed to, right? So if you're a good person, you'll see the little things that other people might bypass and other people to make them good people. It'd be the little things, right? But that's what you would notice. You would notice the little things and it'll tell the story of the bigger things, right? So recognizing it within yourself is very important because if you can recognize what you're doing right, you can also recognize what you're doing wrong, right? And that's just an easy way to better self is to acknowledge the things you do. And if you do good, you should acknowledge that just like if you do bad. If you can hold yourself accountable, you need to pat yourself on the back too. If you're able to hold yourself accountable, you also need to be able to pat yourself on the back, because it's not easy a lot of times, especially with the way the outside world is, to be solidified with honorable virtues, right? So if it's easy to recognize in yourself, you also recognize it in other people. And that's energy exchange. If you see people displaying virtuous acts, you acknowledge that, it makes them feel good. What they did make you feel good, and you just simply acknowledge it, saying thank you, or hey, that was awesome. Give a person a compliment, acknowledging the virtue within other people. It's an energy exchange. It's putting good energy out, and other people are able to receive it, especially when it comes to somebody just being a good person, man. You don't know how often I tell people every day, like, man, thank you for, they be like, excuse me. I'd be like, man, I appreciate you saying that. They'd be like, what? And I'd be like, bro, people don't even say excuse me no more. But it tells me what type of person that person is, right? Just by saying that, you can tell by the tone and the way they structure if it's genuine or not, right? You can tell by that. But just little things like that, little people holding the door open up. Thank you. That's an honorable act. That's an act of virtue, right? When you break that down, the sentence itself, honoring virtue, honor is used in the verb context. So meaning it's something that we do, as an action. So what is honoring? Honoring is holding something high self-esteem, honoring, acknowledging virtue, respecting it. That's the action of honoring. So to honor one's virtue is to acknowledge. Keep it simple, right? To acknowledge. You ain't got to give them a present or a prize. You can acknowledge, and you can do that out loud, or you can acknowledge it within self. It's recognizing it too. Like, that's the hard part, because if it ain't in you, and you see people, they doing that, and they thinking something negative. Like, if you ever see somebody do something nice, and the first thing somebody say, they doing that with intent, like negative intent, like they doing that for a reason. Like, people just can't be nice no more. That's because that's how that person thinks, right? That's how that person literally thinks. Like, if I do something, it's for a reason. So since they doing something nice, it must be for a reason. That's the way people process shit, right? So if a person is used to only doing things for some type of benefit, they go see others like that too. Like I always say, two people can do the same thing for different reasons. So it's more in the intent than the action, right? It's more in the intent. And you can tell by the response. If a person looks for acknowledgement after doing something good, then that's what they did it for. If a person do some good shit and just walk away like ain't nothing happened, then they did that out the kindness of their heart. You can tell, people do nice shit and turn around and make sure people looking. Sometimes they don't do nice shit until people looking, right? They don't do nothing nice until people looking. So that's number one. Honor and virtue. That's how I apply it, and that's some of the benefits I get out of it, right? The more I do it, the more is I recognize what I'm doing right and wrong, and what I can do better or what I can do less of. That's a form of reflection, right? Just having this idea in my head, like I need to honor virtue within myself and within other people. That was like the catalyst for me to start really observing myself, really taking notes on my actions. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to say I did this because person A, B, or C did something. That's easy to say. That's what most people do. Right? There's no form of accountability though. Because that means that anytime somebody outside yourself can do something and make you do something, they manipulate you. You easily manipulated. That's what that shows. Even when people say that, that's what I hear is like they easily manipulate. Or when I hear people say, well, I only did it because this person did that. Or even this, right? It's one of the most cliche saying, right? People will say this. I'm going to give you the same energy you give me. You're admitting that you're susceptible to manipulation. Because if you go give me the same energy I give you, I can give you some negative energy. If I want you to have negative energy, I can give it to you because I know your whole shit go change. So that means if you happy, I can make you crash out. I can make you crash out. And like I said, some of the benefits, the main benefits of that is self-awareness, right? This is what I gained from it. Self-awareness, accountability for self. I thought more about doing certain things. Like, does this fit in the criteria of my virtue? I actually question myself when I do stuff. Well, used to. Now it's like I'm so used to practicing it, it's like a reflex. Like that process goes so quick now. Before it's like I used to have to kind of really analyze things. And now it's like that analyzing is a lot quicker now. But also on others too. Because recognizing it in others, I can know who I should be around, who I shouldn't be around. Like a person's virtue is like the body of their character. That's like the body of a person's character is their virtue and how they act on it. Because virtue is, we can break that word down. We'll break it down in the after show. Yeah, we'll break that down in the after show. But virtue in itself is, you think of like morals, values, good deeds, integrity. You think about, let's say morals, values, integrity, a person's behavior, their action, their reactive response. Is a person more reactive or more responsive? When you think about virtue, if you think about these that they all play a part. It's like aspects of virtue, right? So that's why I got like guidelines. I treat a rich person just like a poor person. Yeah, I treat a rich person just like a poor person. And what that mean? I mean, I'm treating everybody the same with respect, dignity, integrity. That's how I'm treating people. My bad. Before we go to the second one, let me go check out the chat. I'm on this other. Gary, what it do? My 33 brother, Mr. Busted Down Brown. Appreciate you, fam. Appreciate you. That's my 9. That's my 9. All right. Number 2, right? I benefit with gratitude. Means to find gratitude within all things, no matter how big or small, good or bad. This helps forge a positive perspective and harmony within self. I hate using that term, positive. I hate using that term, but you know, it kind of fit in with it. So what does that mean? I mean, finding gratitude. Like, how do you go find gratitude in something bad? Because negative is not without positive, and positive is not without negative. It's just not that you can't separate the two. So if you ever been through something, right? You might been through a heartache. I use something small, right? It's something we all probably experienced, right? We probably, was young, fell in love with somebody, and we lost them, right? And then, we go through that process of heartache and pain. Oh my God, they did this, they did that, whatever they did. And then you realize, like, getting that person out your life, it actually made it better. You got more free time to spend with your family. Your relationship with your family might be better. With your friends might be better. Your self-esteem might go up. You might be more outgoing. But the biggest part is you lose things to make space for things that you need. All right. Oftentimes we lose things in our life. People will say, God, take things out your life to make room for the things that's for you. Because we go out in the world, we experience, right? We get these ideas like, this is for me, this is for me. Well, we don't know what's for us, but the universe do. So a lot of times we'll get with the wrong person, right? We'll be with the wrong person, and we go through these things that we don't want. Undesirable things that hurt us, things that can break us, can bend us. We go through those things and we have a bad experience, but we don't understand that we got those examples to define what we do want. A lot of times you get what you don't want to help you reshape, define what you do want, but we don't look at it like that. And sometimes we hold on to the wrong things for a little too long, and they got to be removed because the right thing is on its way. And when it comes, it needs room, right? If you with somebody and you madly in love with the wrong person, how you gonna be madly in love with the right person? No, all your attention, your time, your energy, all is focused on the wrong person. Because you got part of it right. You got part of it right, but you don't get the whole aspect of it right? You ain't get the whole thing. You only get part of the puzzle. And part of the puzzle is being in a relationship. So a lot of times people often fall in love with the idea of the relationship and not the person they in a relationship with, right? Because you have to have both. You have to love the idea of the relationship, period. Because a lot of people don't. They not there. They might love the person, but they ain't in love with the idea of the relationship. Then you get the flip side. You have people who love with the idea of the relationship, but they got the wrong person, right? So both parts got to be there. So now imagine you go through this experience and just say 5 years later, you finally learn a lesson. Oh, that's why it happened. Or this is what I learned from that. This actually made me a better person because I observed, I analyzed, looked at the situation. And these are the lessons that I extracted, that I applied, and it made me a better person. You learn that 5-10 years later, right? So imagine if you learned it right after you went through that experience. Probably would have saved a lot of time, effort, energy, tears, you know what I'm saying? And then you develop the recognition, right? This is how I experienced it, right? Because I had been in love with women, and then I realized, like, the women ain't even bad. They good people, right? The women that I'm no longer with, that I dated, ain't none of them bad people, to the point where, I'd be online or even in private, bashing. You ask anybody who know me, you'll never hear me bashing the ex I was with, because that's lame to me. I might talk about the experiences that I had with them, but I'm not going to bash them because they all good people. That's what now we wasn't good for each other. They did things that I didn't like. I did things they didn't like, right? And that's what I learned from these different experiences. Dating different women, I learned, like, some things are tolerable and some things aren't. Some things you can work through, some things you can't. But you have to have your standard. You have to define that. And you have to be fair with the other person. right? You got to be fair with them, be upfront with them, tell them what you expect, and be open to what they expect. And if y'all can come to an agreement, then y'all cool. And that agreement is solidified. That's solidified. Y'all talked about it. Y'all have a foundation. Y'all have an understanding. Y'all created certain boundaries. Hey, look, I don't like this. I don't like it. So, hey, if you want to say you define the conditions, that's even better. You define the condition. That's what I gained out of that. I recognize by not looking at things positive or negative, just understanding what actually exists and how it affects me and how it affects the people around me. And by doing that, a lot of times I was able to really observe, to really learn from it, because I took my emotions out of it. Not about if it's right or wrong. It's about, hey, it happens. Not only did it happen to me, but it happens to other people. So the only way to really truly fix this is to observe it and to understand the mechanics of why it happens. You can't do that with emotion. So I was able to observe the type of person I am and the type of people other people are, and appreciate them for their good, bad, or indifference, to appreciate that within other people. By simply being grateful, man. Grateful for the experience itself, whether it's good or bad, whether it's small or big. Like oftentimes you hear me say, I don't get too high and I don't get too low. This is where I got that from. This is how I created that concept. I don't get too high, I don't get too low. Because I give gifts to people. You ever look for a gift and you're thinking about the person, and I always think about what do this person want, but probably won't buy themselves. That's how I buy gifts, right? So I thought of something thoughtful for this family member of mine one time. And when I gave it to him, it didn't even cost that much, right? But it was like thoughtful. It was something that they liked, that they would use, but it didn't cost that much. And when I gave it to the person, the look they gave me was like, oh, okay. Like they thought I was going to give them some money or something big. And I'm looking like, damn, they didn't even appreciate that. And a week later, I seen them using it. It was like, man, you know what? I forgot I needed this. I appreciate it. And I'm looking like, that shit weird. Like, you weird. Like, nah, you weird, bro. You weird. And you're ungrateful. So you realize you need something, but when I gave it to you, you was like, oh, this nothing, basically. That's the energy that came. So I'm like, Mo, what up, though? Dee. My bad, y'all. I'm not in the. I'm on the screen. I ain't in the comments on my computer. I'm on the thing to pull up the thing. What up, though, y'all? Realest one in the building. What it do, my brother? But that's how I'm looking like, dang, but it'd be the little things, right? Like my wife, man. Like she buy me so many little things. I never need anything because of my wife. Anything I think I need, she already buy it. She think about it before me. There's a couple times I'm like, damn, I wish I just wanted a new carpentry knife, right? And she had a box of them. She's like, well, I ordered these last month. I knew when you said you was going to be cutting drywall, I just figured why not. She bought like 4 or 5 new ones. And I don't like the orange ones. I like the ones that look like little pocket knives. So, and Husky, if you're in the tools, you know about, the Husky brand. So it's a Husky brand. So it's like 4 of them in a box. And she ordered them offline. And I'm like, before I even asked for them, I'm looking like, damn, my wife know me. Like I say I'm about to do something, and she would go and look at my tools to see if I got certain things. And if I don't, she'll order. That's how my wife is. And I love that. I love that about her. Like I'm a very observant person. And she is too. She just applied differently for me. She just applied. She do it in the sense like, okay, this is what he gonna need, let me get it. I do it in the sense like, this is what she mentally or emotionally needs, so let me provide it. So she do it in a physical aspect. I do it in a mental and emotional aspect. But it's the same thing, just done, Anyway. But that's and I put, like, if you look this up, it'll say harmony with the cosmos. That's so within, so without. That's so above, so below. So I think you got to have harmony in yourself before you try to gain harmony with the cosmos. That's why most people can't connect to things, because the disconnection starts within. Like, you hear people say, I don't believe in God. I don't believe in this. I don't believe in that. That's because you're disconnected, bro. But the disconnection ain't on the outside, it's on the inside. That's why, like, Brother Gary would be like, why do you think people can't expect they disconnected, bro? I told him no, because it ain't in them. It ain't for them. And when I say that means because they disconnected. They ain't got the hardware to connect to that frequency. That's just literally what it is. Everybody ain't built the same, man. Everybody's not built the same. Everybody ain't built to have no type of connection with the Creator. Even think about the Bible, man. Everybody in the Bible ain't talked to God. It was only certain people. God wasn't talking to the whole wide world. God wasn't on the big screen. That ain't for everybody, bro. Some people talk to God and they go crazy. And some people just crazy talking about they talking to God. So pick your poison. Some people just batshit crazy. I'm talking to God. Like, bro, you talking demon or something, bro. Look at the shit you doing. God ain't telling people go eat brains and shit like that, bro. Come on now. I don't know what God you're talking to, but yeah. But that's how I benefited from it, right? Not getting too high, not getting too low, right? And it keeps you in a humble state, because harmony is I ain't gonna say humbleness is a byproduct of harmony. I'm not gonna say that, but being humble is like being peace, like just being humble. Being that's like a Zen state to me, almost. Because people will use things for different reasons. They use the same thing. So even people like being nice, right, saying nice things about you, they'd be doing that to rock you to sleep, to get you off guard. People can't stab you in the back unless you're comfortable with them being behind you. So people will do that. So that'll help prevent that. Just being humble. It's not too high, not too low. And when bad things happen, it helped me be grateful for the opportunity to learn a lesson. Like when I lost my eyesight, that shit life changing, right? That shit life changing. There's a lot of shit I can't do no more. Right? Now I could have got down to the ground, but I started looking for the positive aspects of what I've been going through, because I've been practicing this for a long time. It was easy for me to flip that switch. It wasn't hard. It was something I've been practicing, just on a small scale. Now I got to do it on a large scale. And then I started noticing, like, man, I get to spend time with my family. Like, when your kids are little, you don't get that time back. That's something you can't never get back. And that kind of forms, I mean, I ain't gonna say it forms your relationship with your kids, right? I'm not gonna say that, but it can. In many cases, it does, right? Because people grow up without a father, and they don't want to hear no excuse why the father wasn't in their life. They just know what in their life, so they never fuck with the father, no matter what. I know people like that. Then I know people who didn't grow up with the dad, and after they got grown, they found their dad, and now they got a great relationship. So I done seen both of it, both sides of that. So it can, but as a parent, like just watching the growth of the child, you can't get that back. And if you don't experience, then you never have it. You never truly experience that, then you don't got it, bro. You don't got it. That's an experience in itself, just to watch kids develop and mature. It shit got me reminiscing, like, okay, yeah, I used to do that. I see why now. I see why I used to do that. That shit do look kind of fun. But I know better now. I can't be jumping off of shit like that with no towel wrapped around my neck thinking I could fly. But I remember how fun that was, thinking I could possibly fly. Yeah, my son crazy, bro. But you don't get that time back, man. And this is something later on in life, when they in their 20s and 30s, Just like my mom and dad do me, man. They be using them little embarrassing stories when I was a kid, and I have a lot of those now. I probably got more. I got way more than my mom and dad got on me. You know what I'm saying? Just in these couple years, bro. I can't wait to see what these little crazy things do when they turn teenage. I know they would be doing crazy stuff, but you don't get that back. So me losing my eyesight gave me the ability to really experience being a dad. Because I wouldn't have had it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a shaker, mover, baker, bro. I go out there and get it. That's just my mentality. I got a hustler's mentality, and that comes with things. Being driven, being motivated. You know what I'm saying? It comes with something. So it's like I'm always inspired. I conquer one thing, now I'm on to the next thing. That's how I was. Every door opens and it has the pathway to another door. That's how I looked at life. So I was never really satisfied with any success I ever had. I always wanted more. And I used my family as fuel, but I've seen that happen too. People lose sight of why they doing what they doing. They forget the why. We all work hard and want to get all this money for the family. Why? To have these experiences, nice experiences. Well, I'm having those experiences without working hard for the money. I put the wrong thing first. If I would have put family first, we ain't gonna get into the metaphysics of that, but yeah. Commander in the building. What up, Nine? The Minister, the General, the Lady of the Nine is in the building. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. What up, Nine? Yeah, but that's how I rock out with that. With the first two. Now I'm gonna cover 42, but I'm not gonna do one a day. I'm gonna probably do 2 or 3 at a time. I'm probably gonna do more than 3 at a time because I want to tell you also how I applied it and some of the benefits I got out of practicing it. And you have to be very mindful, right? You have to be mindful, and that helps you apply these things because a lot of times we learn stuff, but we don't learn the order of operation, or we don't learn how to properly apply it because a lot of people know things, they just don't know how to do. We can say we humble, but in the times where humility is needed, is that what we display? Is that the action? We can say we patience, but when it's time to display patience, are we patient? So a lot of people know things, but they just don't know how to apply them. So you got to look for the opportunities. Then life will give you all sorts of opportunities to practice this. Somebody give you something little, be appreciated. Somebody gives something big, be appreciated. Just like it was, like you did when it was little. You go through some experience in life, instead of labeling it as a bad experience, see what lessons is in to learn, because most of the time when we judge with our emotions, it's because it's an undesirable feeling. But sometimes you have to be uncomfortable to grow. You have to be uncomfortable. So it might not even be a bad situation. It just might be something you don't want to go through. I don't want to go through that. But it's necessary because, like, being in a relationship with the wrong people, nobody wants to break up. You done spent 5-10 years with this person. Y'all done built stuff, invested into one another, and all of a sudden, don't nobody want to call it quits. But that person was probably on a path that it wasn't going to benefit you. That person might be going through something that you can't help them with. That person might just be the wrong for you. And the more time you spend with that person, the less time you can spend with the right person. And the more you end up investing yourself into that person, the more of yourself you're giving to that person. And this is the key part. Sometimes you can give so much to one person that you ain't got enough to give to somebody else. You ain't got enough now. That person, that wrong person, wore you down to the point where you have nothing else to offer anybody else. Everything of value, you already gave it to this person. That can happen. I've seen that happen. You might have been the perfect person like this. I have seen people, I don't want to say go from good to bad, but go from stable to broken, right? And then they meet the right person, but they broken to the point that right person can't fix them. But if they would have met that person before they met the person who broke them, it would have been perfect harmony, right? Perfect harmony. Yep. So that's what I got out of it. Hey, y'all. Let's go over to the after show. Then I'm gonna drop the link. People come up and chat. But yeah, this 42 I did is part one, man. Part 1 and 2. You seen that with a few men who get broken and they never trust the women again. Yes, yeah. After that, all women become 304s. After that, breaking through that ground, pushing through that dirt. That's what it's. Hey, tell them, Commander. That's my favorite analogy about growth. How a seed not only got to break through the ground, they got to break through the original shell is in while it's compressed with dirt. You know, nothing. If you think about anything in nature, nothing grows without adversity. Nothing. Even us being here. Do you know what you had to go through as a sperm cell just to get to that egg? Do you know what you had to go through once you got to the egg just to stay alive, to become an embryo? Because the female body, if it ain't got the right, receptors going on, if everything ain't functioning properly, female body will kill. Is a foreign object in this body. Your body is programmed to take out any foreign object. So it's a special sac, the placenta, but I forgot the name of it, but it's a chemical within the sac. And some women has to get shots just so their body won't, because they don't produce the chemical naturally. So their body won't, self-delete the embryo. So they can be pregnant. So you go through a lot just to become, and then as a baby, you dependent on people to take care of you. So, everybody in different situations. So some of us come up harder than others, but we here, some of us don't get that loving family. Some people are, come up in foster homes. You know what I'm saying? Some people come up in abusive homes. There's some people come up on the Brady Bunch, bro. Some people come up on the Cosby Show. We all got, we all come up differently, but we all here, right? That's why I be sitting back, man. And like I said, just being grateful for my experience. And then I can also be grateful to other people's experiences too. If I can appreciate myself, it's easy for me to appreciate other people, man, because it's in me. And if it's in me, that's all that's going to come out of me, right? So just living in gratitude, these are the benefits that, I benefited from. Just living in gratitude, learning how to love myself so I can love others better. Everything I thought was love before, it was just an act. It's something I was doing because I thought that's what it was. But when I began to love myself, it came naturally. I knew how to love others. I knew how, like, everybody can't even be loved the same. I can't love my wife like I love my kids. I can't love my kids like I love my mom. I can't love my mom like I love my sister. I can't love my sisters like I love my friends, So being able to love myself, because you got to love yourself in all those different ways. It's just simply a reflection. It becomes a reflection. Now I'm getting into the metaphysics, but let me go. Hey, let's go to the after show, man. Y'all got the link? If y'all ain't got the link, I can drop it in the chat. Hold on. We'll go to the after show. But let me end this one and start that one. Then I'll drop the link. Oh man, that's taking too long. But yeah, we over there. I'm gonna share it out when we get there. But y'all know what I always say, man. Care about how you feel. The conversation to build nation. And if I say anything that resonated with you, do me a favor, hit that share button. Tell somebody. Help me spread the word. But until next time.
And do it for the 9.
What up, 9?